We, some time ago, changed the name of this gathering from the science of deliberate creation to the art of allowing for exactly someone like you, because we saw you listening to the tapes, studying, learning about vibration, learning about deliberate creation, learning about law of attraction, and we watched you becoming too conscious of every thought that you were thinking. And so now we want to say to you, we're much more interested in your conscious awareness of how you feel than in the thoughts you're thinking. But then your intellect says, but Abraham, I learned from you, I heard it on the CD, that first there's a thought and then there's a feeling response. And we say, that's true. Your emotions are giving you feedback on the combination of thoughts that you are thinking. But what you're wanting to do is reach for feelings in order to choose the thoughts. We want you to say, I want to feel less stuck. I want to be out in the middle of the deep blue sea. And I want it to be all right that that's right where I am for now. And it really is your job to relax and go to dinner and have fun and play bingo. In other words, we're speaking of life-wise. We're not speaking ship-wise. We're talking about anything that you can do that can distract you from the responsibility of your life. Because it's that feeling of being responsible to guide myself that's got you all balled up. And when you just relax with an attitude of trust that it's being guided, and I have launched the rockets, and I was source energy before I got here, and my life experience has caused that non-physical part of me to become more, and the calling is there, and I'm listening for the call. The stuckness that you feel is that you can feel on many levels of your being that you've become more than you're letting yourself go to. In other words, that's the only thing that could explain that feeling that is within you. You can feel that you've become so much more than you're letting yourself quite be. And we can feel that the reason that you're not letting yourself quite be it is because you're trying to take too big of jumps to it. The intensity of all that you've become is calling you so loud, and you have a misunderstanding. Oh, this is so good. You're gonna get this. Your expectation of that call is different than it sounds. In other words, wouldn't most of you expect source energy to sound like harps and angels singing? Wouldn't most of you expect source energy to sound like joy and all of that eagerness and passion? But even though that's the vibration that source energy is beckoning you with, if you're in despair or anger or fear or stuckness, it doesn't sound like angels singing. It sounds like rebellion. It sounds like revenge. It sounds like an improvement about where you are. And we think that so many of you have a preconceived notion of how you're supposed to feel. And so then you're just mad at yourself for not making that jump all of a sudden. So that's why you're having a hard time taking those incremental steps. You haven't given yourself permission to move up the emotional scale. You're demanding of yourself, and we have to say, you've been this way a very long time. You're very hard on yourself.
All my life.
You're demanding of yourself that you get it and that you move quickly. And it may be because you've had critical eyes scrutinizing you for as long as you can remember, and you're trying to live up to whatever that is, but you got to let that go. They don't know. And you've got to just let yourself feel the relief. Esther and Jerry had an experience not too long ago where Esther was stunned to find herself feeling powerless. A situation occurred over which she felt she had no power whatsoever, and she jumped right into revenge and loved it. Right into revenge. And she said to Jerry, I know this is not a pretty sight, but buzz off, because I feel better here than where I just was. And there was moderate embarrassment on Esther's part, because she knows that she wants to believe that she should never get herself into a powerless place. And we say, Esther, you mean you don't want to let yourself out to play at all? You don't want to be out there mixing it up with others. You don't want to hear what people have to say. You don't want to play in the game of life at all. You just want to move into some safe little corner where you've got everything all figured out, where you can never make a mistake. Is that what you really want? And Esther said, no, I want to be out there playing. And we said, then don't feel bad if you tip over on your bicycle. And don't feel embarrassed about skinning your knees. And don't feel bad if revenge is the best you can do. Because if it's an improvement on where you were, then so be it. Have a party in revenge, you see.